110 Stories takes a different theatrical approach, with monologues drawn from actual interviews with those impacted in and around Ground Zero.
I thought I saw everything until the World Trade Center. That day was election day. I was in the Bronx. I was photographing the candidates and my photo editor came in. Bolivar, hurry up, there's a crash acid in a plane. So I took my car through 40 red lights, and in about 20 minutes, I was standing right there under the two buildings.
Sarah Tuft didn't originally set out to write a play about 9/11.
I was determined to help, so I did what everyone else did. I went to all the rescue centers, I went to Chelsea Piers and Javits, signed up. I made huge batches of Toll House cookies, and I went down and immediately got in. Because it was like cops, and they're tired, and there's a person, and it's a girl, and she's smiling, and she has cookies, you know? I do have bad boundaries, and I do talk to strangers as if they're family members. And out of that kind of familiarity, people started telling me these really intimate stories.
I was on Church Street, came out of a bookstore, me and my wife here. I could practically see the passengers on the plane, the first one crash.
She basically just transcribed people's stories and just did an absolutely magnificent job editing them and putting them into one piece.
So I step back, and a firefighter says, "Oh my God, it's an arm." And it turns out that I'm standing on top of some poor fella. He's like 8 to 10 inches underneath my feet in the dust. And there's an I-beam on top of him. Now I'm trapped, because as soon as this firefighter realized it was a body, there's 40 people cutting the beam and no way for me to get past them without walking over the dead guy. So we had to watch this guy get dug up. That's when I realized things were very different than I'd pictured.
What I found interesting was it came from the voices of people that were there.
Me and my med school buddies decided if we were going in, let's go all the way to the front lines where we could do something, you know, informal, but maybe more critical at the time. CPR, stop bleeding, tourniquets, or whatever. Now, don't forget, we have 2 ophthalmologists and 1 child psychiatrist in the car. It wasn't exactly like we were the MASH unit or anything.
Over the years, it's gone to great causes, and this year's obviously no exception, being the 10th year anniversary of it.
There are many, many people like that. Many little people who perform great acts of courage and kindness.
That next Saturday, I finally took my daughter down to ride her bike without training wheels. You gotta picture it. That abandoned South Street seaport, and meanwhile, there's this big plume of smoke still rising from the background. And she did it. Towards the end, she was writing like she'd written all her life.
I felt very passionately that artists are important to society, that we record human experience, and that we also can gather community together and share reflections of who we are.